Okay, tell me something. Dick Sponge, what is your appeal? I sure as hell couldn't see it, but I also can't see the appeal of Trump, the Alt-CC, or the Communist Party, so what do I know? Anyway, those three examples are the theme for today. I'm going to do 3 videos of Dick Sponge to show criticism, and maybe explain this person to myself.
I'm so and you're never gonna see. I'm cold, but giving up because of my belief. I'm nobody that you ever wanna be. 'Cause I know that the world is afraid of me. I'm so and you're never gonna see. I'm cold, but giving up because of my belief. I'm nobody that you ever wanna be. 'Cause I know that the world is afraid of me.
Okay, sure, these are nitpicks, but really, these text walls are all we have for an intro, so it is fair game. If some of his works need practice, why do you sound like a dick who just wants him dead throughout the whole video? You don't change from your normal, constant anger voice to, I don't know, a voice that doesn't sound like you hate his guts? In the end, it's just bad acting through the whole video. And second, why isn't this actually told to us by you? I don't see why the text over loud AF stock music is needed when we definitely know you have a mic and you can make a video. You're not goddamn Rich Satan. This is just kind of lazy.
Okay, so going into this review, I think the most important thing to figure out is how you pronounce this name. Ralsermer?
Sereousgamer33-commentary. This joke is overdone as hell and I can see it coming from a mile away. Please stop.
Explain. No.
Literally, why is this joke overdone? Unless you frequent music reviews of this song, which I don't know if you did, because like the hypocrite that you are, you bitch about giving examples but fail to provide them yourself. And how can it be? This song currently has only been out for around 4-ish months, and at the time of Boone's video, had only been out for a little around 2 months. I have no evidence to believe such is true, so in the end, there you go.
Sent flowers, but you said you didn't receive. But you said you didn't need.
Wait, what? That is not bragging. That is you saying that this girl did not want flowers that you sent to her, thus symbolically indicating that she doesn't want to be with you. Why are you putting a producer watermark over this? This is the first actual line of the song!
You know the funny meme where the guy says, hey, keep this in mind, it's gonna be important later? Yeah, it's gonna be important later.
Hey, you know how that meme is a meme, and you using it is completely dumb as hell? What? He told us he's going to use a meme as a legit point, not my fault. Oh, but you know the real annoying thing about this? Even though he's saying it's going to be important later, which is already stupid because that is just a throwaway interjection, in the end, later is like 2 cuts later. Normally, when people think later, they think, like, you know, a big payoff at the end of the video. This is the exact opposite. Good job.
That girl is a real crowd, please. Small world, all her friends know of me.
Wait, so she cheated on you? I'm left to assume that we're talking about the same girl here, since there's no intervening line. And she symbolically does not want you, so that would make sense.
Overanalyzing my name is Boonslayer. Jesus Christ. You do realize that if that was the case, it wouldn't mesh at all with the rest of the song. Most of the verses are either about them or the girl's money, so randomly slipping in that she's cheating on dudes makes absolutely no sense.
Then what is the line supposed to be about? Again, you don't explain anything. Remember how I said the biggest problem with these videos is the fact he's just making them to be pushed out before that big and ambitious project? You see, these videos are the definition of rushed. They still have wholly individual flaws, but in the end, they all do stem from being rushed as hell.
Surely that first line was not simply a throwaway line, and we're just going to be straight up bragging from this point forward.
Young bull living like an old geese. Quick release the cash, watch it fall slowly.
Oh, I see. Wow.
Okay, first of all, no, that's not a throwaway line. Second of all, No, that's not. That line is supposed to talk about how he's so famous that even all of her friends know him. And that's not me randomly making guesses. That's me making an educated guess based on the rest of the song content. Because admittedly, while the Ray Shrimmer boys aren't exactly Jesus Christ superstar when it comes to their lyrics, they aren't stupid.
I'm just gonna point out that you shouldn't make educated guesses when you show later that you use a site to find the meaning of the lyrics. Speaking of which, that site that you go to has an explanation for the line in question, and it's not that he's super rich and is known by all her friends. I know, I checked. Link in description.
I'm a fucking black beetle, cream seats in the Regal, rocking John Lennon lenses, like to see him spread eagle.
He then goes back to being one half of Ray Sremmurd. And that's probably my biggest problem here.
That line about John Lennon is the extent to which Sway Lee
Seriously, what the fuck are these names?
references the Beatles when it's in the name of the song.
I mean, surely you can do better than that. Just think for a second. I'll make the bitches come together. We chillin' in my yellow submarine. Tell all the haters, let it be. Give me something to work with here!
And guess what? It's later. You wanna know why it's later? Because Boone could have easily said that the watermark covered up one of the only Beatles references in the song.
Sent flowers, but you said you didn't receive. But you said you didn't need them.
Even though there are plenty of Beatles references, they just aren't as well known as the common Beatles references like Yellow Submarine or Let It Be.
But he instead goes on a bit of a tangent and doesn't really explain himself that well. He just kinda goes, lol, watermark.
Okay, before we start, that's the wrong line description. Boone was talking about the John Lennon glasses in the Regal line. Alright, this is going to be a long one, so first off, if you want to make a song about getting high and or drugs, you shouldn't make it out like you're making a song specifically for Beatles references. If you want a few Beatles references, put them in and don't call the song Black Beatles. Second off, if this song is trying to be mostly about Beatles references, then why the hell are they being so obscure about it? Why aren't they referencing Yellow Submarine or Let It Be? And really, your interjection contradicts itself by saying both that the song is about drugs more than Beatles references, and then going on to explain Beatles references which aren't about drugs. So what is your stance on this? Are you saying Boone is wrong because he didn't get the real premise of the song? Or are you saying he is wrong for not getting the obscure nuances of a Beatles references in the song? Either way, I just explained how both those routes are dumb.
Oh wait, I forgot, there's a third guy on the song.
Came in with two girls look like strippers in their real clothes. A broke hoe can only point me to a rich hoe.
Oh yeah. Now I know I forgot you. Okay, besides there's like... This. It's like another hit this year. How do you even tell me a single song by Eugene? No, and even if you can't tell me a single song by Eugene, how do you tell me any lyrics that he's said other than the ones that
Shut up! Oh my god, I don't care!
Okay, but in all honesty, there is a really legitimate criticism we need to make here. And it's that you're way too much like everybody else. Like, I'm sorry if it seemed harsh, but I've seen this sort of stick before. You just kind of go through the lyrics and that's it. When music reviews right now don't have a lot of 100% original people here, I wouldn't mind you being the guy who's changing stuff up around there. And another big complaint, you know the music part of the music and you barely talk about that. The problem with just analyzing the lyrics is sometimes there are plenty of people, especially in the top 40 range, which is the most reviewed of these types of music reviewers. There are plenty of musical artists that don't care as much about the lyrics and just want something to jam to. So unless it's very clear that they're trying to say something more serious, it's kind of useless. So therefore, the actual music should matter just as much as the lyrics.
Another long one out. Goody. One, yeah, that's how music reviews work. You only have 3 things to criticize in a music review. The video, which not all songs have, making it irrelevant. The lyrics, which are what are on display here unless it's dubstep. And finally, the beat, which is, unless it's a solo, is in the background. In the end, lyrics are the things most people look at for music reviews. It's like criticizing the dialogue in a movie. If you have a problem with that, you're dumber than I thought. Finally, nothing about reviews has ever changed since they were only in the newspaper. If you're looking for change, you're in the wrong video genre. And no, I'm not saying changing it up is a bad thing, but it's not required to be at least passable. So in the end, every last word of that interjection fails on a fundamental level.
I'm not trying to say, you're garbage, you're never ever gonna be able to do these music reviews. I had sex with your mother. But you do need a lot of changing if you want to keep these going. Especially in a type of review genre that is just polluted.
Okay, for real this time, before we move on to the next video, what are you, the connoisseur of music reviews? Can you tell the difference between a Todd in the Shadows and a rap critic? One of your main flaws is that you act like you're the friggin' god of the CC and talk down to everyone under the guise of out-and-out jerkholery, and rarely a sense of actual helpful critique. Anyway, next!
Alright, let me explain something here. The main reason I'm doing all of these quickies is because I'm working on a really big commentary for my 20th video. Not my 20th video, 20th commentary, but I didn't want to sound redundant.
Yeah, is this unscripted? Sure sounds like it. What is it with openings going unscripted?
And I'm also working on an ass load of co-ops with people. So, that's the reason I've been uploading a buttload of videos very recently, is because I just wanted to have something for you, my subscribers, to enjoy while I'm working on all this other stuff, okay?
Alright, this man has obviously never heard of quality over quantity. Just because you say you're making something big doesn't mean you have to pound yourselves with low-level turds like this.
Christ!
Hey there everyone, this is Slayers of Stuff, back with another commentary. And no, the title is not fooling you, I am doing a commentary on Scarlet Otaku. And I am aware that I'm going up against a bot member, but it's, well, the only problems I have with this video are in the beginning, so yeah.
Okay, first of all, you're going up against a video made in April 10th of 2015. That's like 2 years old.
This point comes up like everywhere in your videos, and seems like a big reason you go after some of the people you target. Just because it has been 2 years, which it hasn't, the video was in January, and the video he's covering is from April, which makes it around a year and 6 months old. But the point is, the age has nothing to do with the problem about the actual video. Whether or not he brings things up that are new and isn't restating old points is the problem. Granted, this is kind of a problem found here, but you don't say anything beyond the video he covered was old and then you move on. This point gives us nothing and isn't criticism.
Second of all, no, it couldn't be because my commentary might very well be mediocre. No, it's because I'm going up against a bot member, yeah, definitely. Ignoring the fact that the last commentary I did was not only an accomplice of bot, but a member of Fox. We're not living in a fucking Greek hierarchy, dude, calm down.
So? In his mind, the idea of taking on a bigger person with a fan base will get people of that fan base riled up. That is what he feels the need to address. Also, who cares? 1. After doing research, Boone, your last target, has nothing to do with Bob, other than being a mild acquaintance. And even if he is a member of Fox, who the hell cares about Fox? Is Fox even still a thing?
Also, let's address the elephant in the room. You're using a screen recorder instead of just downloading the footage. And you're obviously going unscripted, which would be fine if it wasn't for the fact that you talk slower than molasses.
Alright, fine, that was legitimate criticism, though unlike Doodle, you don't bother giving suggestions and just settle for the get good scrub method.
Either use a script or speed up your delivery.
Long intro is long.
Okay, why did you play the very first few seconds of the intro in order to say, long intro is long? Now, well, I get that it was a joke, but you could have just skipped it entirely while putting text up on the screen that said, skipping long intro.
I don't know, maybe she was, using comedy to make a point about how long Lance's intro was. It's not like that went over your head completely or anything.
Okay, 1, it wasn't funny and was just deadpan saying long intro is long. How can anyone laugh at that? I just go up to someone saying a speech with a long opener and tell them their intro is long in disinterested voice. That's not funny. Don't expect the crowd to laugh their heads off, buddy. 2, he literally just stated he knew it was a joke and you know, that criticism is kind of terrible because you and your butt buddy use it to just dismiss people who don't think your opinion is the goddamn word of Jesus. Oh, and 3, it wasn't funny!
Guys, this is Lance 1000 here, and back with another commentary. Yes, it's been a little while, hasn't it? Yeah, I deleted my commentary on David. I just didn't like that commentary, so...
Okay, what are you referring to? Scripts, what's that? Okay, like I said, what are you referring to? I mean, it would make sense if he was, like, pausing in between his sentences, but, well, if he was taking a long pause in between his sentences, but he is not doing that.
Hey look, Helen Keller made commentaries, who knew?
Ugh, God.
Lance obviously was rambling.
Okay, fine, that might have been obvious, but just putting easily missable text on the screen that says the vague message of the point really isn't. And hell, if she can waste time just saying a long intro is long, why not do it here? It's the same parameters, a short, deadpan joke. It's vague and kind of pointless. This next part is just a little bit off topic, but a big problem you have and you never wish to acknowledge when it isn't you for the sake of being a hypocrite is that you are very vague with your points, which is a criticism I can get behind. Even if a lot of stupid people tell you that. Looking at you, priest. Alright, the last few seconds of this video are just him trying and failing to explain a point flawed from the ground up, so next!
Does this count as a commentary? I'm counting it as one. Welcome to a commentary. For some reason, I'm Lily B and I'm a catty writer. If you happen to see the thumbnail to this video, notice it says DeviantArt. Yes, I'm doing a commentary on a DeviantArt person. Fight me.
Yeah, I will, because that's really weak material. Now, I'm not saying doing a video on something like a DeviantArt post is exactly the worst thing in the world, but here's the thing. From what I've thought, one of the reasons that a lot of people tend to pick out YouTube videos is that it's easier to get responses. It's easier to see how the person who's making the video responds to your criticism. But you two are on like a completely different spectrum. He's on DeviantArt, you're on YouTube. It's probably going to be very unlikely that you can hear his criticism and he can hear your criticism. Point is, when you're trying to give criticism, which is the point of a commentary, it's going to be hard when that criticism can barely be heard.
Dude, this is the internet. A mass of interconnected social sites where you can get things from one side to another with little to no work. So why would it be hard for him to get criticism back from this person? If he is actively trying to get feedback, of course. You state that he is doing this video for criticism and wants feedback. And it will be hard to get that feedback because the person in question is on DA and the other is on YouTube. But you see, there's a very simple process that works for the post of any other site on the internet that you want your video to reach. For most sites that will allow people to post and talk around on that said site, they have a comment section. DA, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, 4chan, Tumblr, even goddamn Miiverse, and hell, actually MySpace. There's no way, if you are actively trying to get feedback from the person in question, that you should have any problem going into a comment section of their place on that site or where you know they are and copy and pasting a link of your video and asking for feedback.
Hey, yo, cut the music, cut the music. Somebody left an ice cube on the ground and melted and now my sock is wet. Who the fuck wanna die?
So you may be browsing the literature submissions or Wattpad or any other website for posting original literature, or maybe you looked up your favorite fictional character to see some sweet ass fan art of them, but instead you get something like, well, this, Bad to the Bone, Undertale Sans X Reader fanfiction.
Okay, maybe this is just a nitpick, but why would you be looking for fan art on a literature website?
He's talking about how DeviantArt can host fanfiction as well as art. Calm down.
Okay, cool your jets there, Starsky. The post specifically said literature sites, and gave examples of only literature sites.
Hey, yo, cut the music, cut the music. Somebody left an ice cube on the ground and melted and now my sock is wet. Who the fuck wanna die?
Okay, do we really need to see the full meme in its entirety in a span of less than a minute between them? If you're going to use skip cards, at least try to make them 5 seconds at max.
Why? Why does this exist? Why do people do this though? Hell, the fanfiction could be well written, but generally speaking, they're often written by young teens with little experience on developing original literature.
And this is why you never speak in generalities, because older teens and adults writing fanfictions can't possibly exist, right?
Hey, you see this definition for often? Yeah, you see how it never ever says this is always how it is? He's not even denying that older teens and adults could do it, he's saying that it's often that young kids do it. Often! You gotta emphasize the T.
Well, you see, my enemy, often is still a very general word, and used in generalities a lot. This poster here never elaborates on the other side of the argument and only focuses on the side he doesn't like. And that one little instance is not enough. This is one-sided and it's a problem, which sadly you also have.
It's like how bases don't teach you how to draw. You can't expect to learn by using someone else's characters and world as a template for your own writing, adding little to the story. The most a fanfiction writer may add is some terrible written smutty fantasy that will make most readers cringe, feeling quite sorry for the character they're ruining. Example, then the sands leaned over you and touched you. Oh, you gasped XD1. This obviously is an exaggeration, but there are often lots of issues with grammar. This isn't something original fiction will fix, but it's still very common in fanfiction.
First off, never use exaggerations like that. You're building your entire argument on something that doesn't exist.
Hey guys, did you hear? Never use jokes to try and convey your point, ever, or else it's automatically debunked.
That wasn't a joke. It was an exaggerated example, and it's all this poster is going on in this point so far. He gives no other evidence for this point in the post. Yeah, don't base points on jokes. And you also shouldn't just assume something is a joke when it clearly isn't.
Christ!
Also, while I'm not going to deny the existence of smutfics, there are also fanfictions that continue where a story leaves off if there's a cliffhanger in the series, develops relationships between characters that the original writer only glosses over, and even going as far as to explain the characters' motivations that were previously never explained at all. And you say that doesn't add much?
He isn't denying that there are good fanfics out there. He never says that throughout any of the journal.
Yeah, but what he also doesn't do is explain better things, you know, the good side that he's ignoring for his sake of saying fanfiction should be on DA or some shit. Look, just saying something isn't there doesn't excuse the fact that something should be there.
His point is that it's very often that there are bad fanfiction out there. Not always, but often.
Good sir, I will repeat myself once and only once in the final stretch of this video. Often is a generality, and a generality of the majority without a recognition of the minority isn't a good thing.
Badly written or poorly designed OCs. These OCs, if they aren't a direct insert of the reader, are written in second person, a very weird and uncommonly used perspective, and it's usually hard to write for beginners, adding to the general poorness of the fanfiction. They are obviously self-inserts of the writer, or a Mary Sue, though they're usually both at the same time. These OCs usually end up like this.
Okay, hold up a moment. I am honestly not sure that this person knows what second person is, because from the post, it seems like they think second person is making self-inserts that the writer puts in a story for their own purpose. When in reality, second person is like making a first-person cutscene for a game. You have no control over this part of the story, but you are in the experience. And role-playing games too, they are also in second person. Anyway, what's the actual point being made here?
I'm using Undertale for my examples, not because I'm a fan, but because it's easy to make fun of its fanbase. Princess Neko Heart Blood Chan, 17 years old, princess of the underworld, strengths, really super powerful, weaknesses, too pretty, and a small minor amount of shyness that has literally no effect on the story whatsoever and may not have needed to be there. Date, Sans, but everyone has a crush on her. Race, skeleton Neko girl. Like, please, for the sake of people around you, stop making OCs like this, please!
Your opinion on second person perspective isn't needed here, because that's entirely subjective. And again, what if it's a troll fic? You don't really cite any examples of what you consider bad fanfictions.
You know, I seem to remember this joke being stolen from a commentary by YouTube dude, which you have now in turn stolen from the stealer. Good on ya. Secondly, second person isn't hard to write in. Watch. You walk into a room and see it is pitch black before looking for a light switch. You then see eyes light up the room with a deadly glow, and you feel your heart skip a beat in fear. Second person is easy as hell to write in. Well, easier than first person. If you have any knowledge of writing, you can write in second person. Hell, I can write in second person. I've only done like 2 fanfics that have gone anywhere in my writing career.
Hey, yo, cut the music, cut the music. Somebody left an ice cube on the ground and melted, and now my sock is wet. Who the fuck wanna die?
But if it's a beginner, give them advice instead of telling them to stop. Telling them to stop doesn't help them at all.
Saving it for later. Yes, I'm saving it for later.
You know what, I already explained this problem in the first part of this video, and I said I will only repeat myself once, so I'm skipping over to your real point.
You never specified that.
I don't want people to stop rating them. I don't want people to stop rating them.
Wasn't he still talking when he was saying that? I Hypocrisy's fun, ain't it?
But it's one of those things that beginners should stay away from, like bases or anime style.
So, you expect beginners to go right to telling your definition of a good original story. You do know that inexperienced writers will create mediocre stories and characters regardless of whether they're making original stories or fanfics, right?
Alright, the first thing is wrong. He never said that unless that was in the sped up shit you wouldn't let us understand, in which case to hell with you. Second thing is relevant, as he provided examples and explained them, making them reusable. And the third thing, this guy never gave examples. Catman here has before. See how it's just slightly above?
Okay, final thoughts. What the hell is this video?
What happened to your background? It just disappeared at the end and it's never seen again. Did I miss a milk carton last month? What the hell?
I legitimately want an answer. How do you make this? Like, this is one of the most mediocre commentaries made this year, and it's barely even started yet.
Let's see. It looks fine, sounds fine, doesn't hurt my ears. Yeah, those are the three things you need to at least make an average video. And no, average does not mean mediocre. Oh yeah, and the points aren't that bad.
Like, you saw this video and you said, yeah, this is proper. This is proper. This is gonna be good for uploading. I say that mainly because you seem to be obsessed with keeping a schedule, and I mean really obsessed. As in, you upload content to an unhealthy extent.
That's only one video in a day, and not even every day. There's gaps in days there. This isn't Watch Mojo levels of content, man. And yeah, that's not that bad to me. It doesn't seem bad at all.
My advice, actually look over your videos. Get a person to check the scripts. If you keep uploading like this, it's gonna be very easy for you to mess up more often. Oh, and another thing. Stop being a furry, you piece of shit.
Awesome way to end the video, you plebeian of moronic descent. After sitting through all of that, I need to get him out of my mind for a long time. These videos show the glaring problems you have with attitude, vagueness, and just poor writing that makes Mad TV look good. I just need a break, man. Oh, god damn it!